Hey everyone, and welcome. We're about to go on a guided tour, a tour of JavaScript, one of the most important technologies that makes the internet work. Ever wonder what makes the modern web feel so alive? Well, you're in the right spot. Let's get right into it. But before we get technical, let me ask you something. Just think for a second about your favorite websites. What is it that makes them feel so interactive? You know, that little bit of magic where you can click on things, scroll through animations, and really play with the content? Hold that thought, because the answer to that question is, well, it's pretty much the whole point of this. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll nail down what JavaScript even is. Then we'll get into what it actually does. We'll look at where it's used beyond just websites. I'll show you a roadmap for how you can learn it. And finally, we'll talk about starting your own journey. Simple as that. Okay, first things first, let's get down to basics. What is JavaScript? For that, we're not going to guess. We're going straight to the experts over at the Mozilla Developer Network for the official definition. Okay, so let's break this down because there are some keywords here. When it says lightweight, that just means it's designed to be simple, not a huge resource hog. And interpreted, that's a big one. It means your web browser can just read and run the code line by line as it gets it. There's no separate heavy-duty compiling step first. And that right there is what makes it so fast and flexible, just perfect for the web. And let's just get this out of the way right now because it's a super common mistake. JavaScript is not Java. Seriously, not even close. I know the names are confusing, but they are completely different languages with different rules for different jobs. Just burn it into your brain. Not the same thing. All right, so we've got the technical definition down, but what does that actually mean? Like, what does JavaScript do on a website in the real world? The best way to get our heads around this is with a simple analogy. Let's imagine for a second that a website is a house. So, when you build a house, the very first thing you need is the structure, right? The frame, the walls, the roof, the basic bones of the building. In the web world, that's HTML. It's the skeleton of the web page. Okay, so you've got the frame up. Now you want to make it look nice, right? You pick out the paint colors, the furniture, all the decorations. That's where CSS comes in. It's all about the style, the presentation, how everything looks. But let's be real, a house with just walls and furniture is just a pretty box. It's not functional. You need electricity, you need plumbing, you need the stuff that actually makes things work. And that's JavaScript. It's the electrical wiring and the pipes that let you flip a light switch, or open a door, or turn on an appliance. It's what makes the house and the website actually do things. This power to do things comes from what the pros call dynamic capabilities. Now, that sounds fancy, but all it really means is that JavaScript can change the website while you're on it. Think about it. It can build new things on the fly. That's kind of like adding a new chair to a room after you've already moved in. It's got this incredible flexibility to react to what you do right then and there without ever having to hit the refresh button. So, for a really long time, JavaScript's whole world was the web browser. That was its home. But a tool this powerful and this flexible, it was never going to stay in one place for long. It started to break out and show up in some really surprising places. These days, JavaScript is everywhere. With something called Node.js, developers can use it to build the entire server side of a website. The engine room that you never see. It's even running inside databases like CouchDB. And get this, if you've ever filled out a smart PDF form in Adobe Acrobat, yep, that's probably JavaScript making it work. So, okay, you get what it is, you get what it does, and maybe, just maybe, a little part of you is thinking, how would I even start to learn this? And look, I get it. It can seem like a lot. But that same amazing source we've been talking about, MDN, lays out a perfect roadmap for you. They've broken it down into a really clear path. You just start with the beginner stuff, then you move on to the fundamental guides that teach you the real core of the language. After that, you tackle some intermediate topics, and before you know it, you're diving into advanced concepts. It's a true step-by-step journey, taking you from what is this to, wow, I can build stuff. And as you go, you'll pick up all the essential building blocks. You'll learn about built-in objects, which are just like pre-made tools in your toolbox. You'll use operators, plus, minus, all the math and logic stuff to make things happen. You'll learn statements that tell the website what to do and when. And you'll organize it all with functions and classes, which are basically the blueprints for all the interactive parts of your house. And hey, As you're learning, don't sweat the mistakes. It is absolutely part of the process. Seriously, programming is like 90% trial and error. Just to prove it, the MDN documentation lists over 130 of the most common JavaScript errors and tells you how to fix them. It's a great reminder that everyone gets stuck, even the pros, and that there are incredible resources out there to help you figure it out. And just like that, we're at the end of our guided tour. We've covered what JavaScript is, we've seen how it's the magic that brings websites to life, we've looked at where else it's being used, and we've even mapped out how you can start learning it yourself. So if you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this. JavaScript isn't just a bunch of code. It is the engine that powers the entire interactive web that we use and rely on every single day. Remember that question I asked at the very beginning? What makes a web page feel alive? Well, now you know the answer. It's JavaScript. It's the language that gives you the power to create, to build, to make something that people can actually use and interact with. So, the only question left to ask is, now that you know the language of the web, what are you going to create?